Hadean has set itself the rather small challenge of making big data feel small. Let's take Netflix. Netflix wanted to improve its recommendation algorithms. So what did they do? They issued a challenge, $1 million for whoever could find the best algorithm. The team that won came out with a 67-technique ensemble. Now, this is pretty typical in this world, in machine learning. But what happened next is really interesting. This algorithm never saw the light of day. Why is this? Well, as it turns out, between small data innovation and big data engineering, there is a profound gulf in cost, complexity, and time. And this is caused by the infrastructure landscape. That is what you need today to take an algorithm through to production when we are talking about terabytes of data. You need a team with expertise in multiple niche areas who come together and use frameworks and point solutions to cobble together something of a solution. And each of these technologies sits atop the current compute stack. At the bottom, you see an operating system that was conceived of and paradigms implemented over the last 40 years, designed and optimized for one thing: how to get one program to run on one machine. But as of the last 6 to 10 years, this world has been dramatically changing. Data no longer fits on one machine. So what are you to do? Well, at Hadean, we're radically rethinking what an operating system should look like and what it should do. We have taken those millions of lines of code and layers of tech built over decades, and we have rethought the fundamental principles, the very principles of computing, and implemented it in just 8,000 lines of code. Today, we can run standard C programs, Rust programs. We can even compile and run Linux executables. So Hadean can make this claim. We are the only cluster computing technology in the world that can take any algorithm and run it at massive scale for zero engineering effort. And we've designed for developers. We're a set of tools for developers. Now let's take a more specific example. A rather large bank in London came to us. They developed an algorithm over 2 weeks which could predict trades. They now needed to run this on years and years of historical trade data. They had a 6-man team working 4 months, and they still had no end in sight. Hadean is helping them take the algorithm and with a command line, just run it at whatever scale they like. Now, this is quite a bold claim. This has never been made before. But we are going to show you a very quick, simple demonstration. Here's a chunk of code written in a fairly standard programming language. Now, this code we will run first on a laptop and then on a cluster, simply by changing the input size. One command runs, executes, result returned. Another command, increased input size, starts running. This is the cloud dashboard. These are all the machines being pulled in to run that program, and you're seeing generations of the algorithm. Finally, the result is returned. Done. That's how simple it is. This is unprecedented. It's never been achieved before. Now, current production, you have teams with concerns that resemble this, using technologies that look like this. With Hadean, your team has just one concern: So where are we as a company? Well, we've built a world-class team. We have engineers who are absolutely top-notch. We've had the fabled Google engineers apply and often found them not good enough. We have luminaries in the field of compute, pioneers who founded our foundations, who've joined us. Many of them are professors now. We have defensible IP, and recently, we've closed our seed round, $2.6 million, led by White Cloud and Entrepreneur First. We are working with key clients across these sectors. We are also working with Microsoft to bring Hadean to the public on Azure. Let me finish with this thought. Hiding in those mounds of data is the knowledge to change the life of a patient or change the world. If you have data and you would like to extract insights from it with speed and agility, we would love to help you. Please come talk to us. Thank you.